SONJ friends, it's Tracy from One Yoga Center, and I thought since we're all at home and we have so much time to practice yoga, we should pull out those yoga cards that we need and go through them really quickly and remind ourselves how to do the poses. So I'm going to run through them really quickly with you, and I hope that you're practicing these at home. I miss everybody so much, and I can't wait to see you all again in person. So the first class is, or the first card is Easy Pose. So Easy Pose, if you remember, is just crossing your legs in front of you, sitting up nice and tall through your spine, and we usually close our eyes here and do some deep breathing. And I want to remind you, when you do your deep breathing, to try to breathe into your belly. So when you inhale, try to lift and expand your belly. And when you exhale, try to pull the belly in towards the spine. All right, so this is Easy Pose. And for those of you that do practice this, I want you to try to do deep breathing for 3 whole minutes. We're not going to do that right now, but I want you to do that at home. Breathing is so important. It's the most important part of our practice. The next pose is Cobbler. So when we do Cobbler pose, take my socks off, you bring your feet together, and you can do butterflies, where we lift the knees up and down. In fact, I think these are good. Or you can fold forward and drop your head and take several breaths. If you look on many of the cards, I think we tell you on many cards to hold the poses for several deep breaths. I like to think of about 6 deep breaths. Okay, so come on up, and then I'll review with you animal stretch. So you have your card for animal stretch. Okay, from Cobbler pose, you swing your leg around and make sure your foot's against your thigh and place your hands on either side of the knee. You can roll your spine forward and back here. We often do that. Or you can come forward and fold, and you can let your head hang or drop. Again, you hold that for about 5-6 breaths. When you come up, you swing your legs to the other side and do the same thing. Okay, animal stretch. All right, let's see the next card. Half forward fold. So now you bring your legs out in front of you, and you're going to tuck one foot into your inner thigh, flex the other foot, lift your spine, take a deep breath, and then fold over the other leg. Now don't worry if you're not flexible to get the foot, because you can hold your leg. Drop your head and breathe. 5 or 6 deep breaths. Come up and do the other side. Same thing. Make sure to lengthen your spine first. 5 to 6 deep breaths. Then we do our seated forward fold. Okay, this is the harder one. Both legs are out. And for this one, when you flex your feet, lift your arms up, and then fold forward over your legs. Hold for 5 or 6 deep breaths. Inhale back up and come out of the pose. The next pose we go over is table and then cat rolls. So table and cat rolls are the next 2 cards. So we come up on our hands and our knees. Oh, my cards aren't playing with me today. Okay, so we come up onto our hands and our knees for table. You line up your knees and your arms under your shoulders and hips. And then on the inhale, you lift your head and tailbone. And on the exhale, you tuck your head and tailbone. So again, these are cat rolls. And you can do these as many times as you want to. And then you're going to go into child's pose. So you're going to sit back and open the knees and stretch your arms forward, bring your forehead down. Hold that for 5 to 6 deep breaths, everybody. Child's pose. Then we're going to do our extended leg. You come back up onto your hands and knees. You take one leg to the side. And here we sometimes roll our spine again, up and down. Those cat rolls, we revisit them sometimes. Now, one fun thing that's not on the card that I'll show you today is you can take your leg around to the other side and turn and look over your shoulder. You can do that for 5 or 6 deep breaths. Then you bring the leg back in, do the other side. Maybe roll your spine up and down. After several times, take your leg to the other side, turn and look back, and release. So that's our extended leg. Then we have downward dog, and after downward dog is Sphinx Pose. So let's do these two together. Push into the mat, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up to the sky. And you're gonna drop your head and look at your belly and press your chest back. Heels towards the floor. And this one we wanna hold for 5 or 6 deep breaths. It's really important. When you're done, you're gonna come down on your knees, then down on the forearms, walk back, and lower to your tummy. Shoot your toes back and lift your chest. And this is Sphinx Pose. And if you remember, sometimes we move our head from side to side in Sphinx Pose, side to side. Or roll the head down and around. So, after Sphinx, I'm pretty sure we do Crocodile, but let me check what card we put in next. Yeah, Crocodile. So we're gonna come down, let our arms come across the mat, and drop our head. This is a resting pose, because we're gonna do a couple back bends next. So, the first back bend is low Cobra, and then the next one is half Locust, and then the next one is Superman or Supergirl, okay? So we're gonna do these together because there's a lot of back bends. Low Cobra, half Locust, and then Superman or Supergirl. Lots of different ways to do these, okay? So low Cobra, hands are on the sides under the shoulders, and you lift with your back. You can be down on your hands, up on your fingers, but you don't want to push with your hands. You do this for 5 or 6 breaths, come down. And then for half Locust, as you stretch out your arms, you're going to bring one leg up, say it's your left leg, then you bring your right arm up. So opposite arm and leg, you hold this for 5 breaths if you can, come down and do the other side. Right leg, left arm, hold for 5, 6 breaths, come down. Then it's the Superman, Supergirl. This is the tough one. We lift up off the floor, arms and legs, and we fly really high. And I really want you to try to lift up and hold this one for 5 or 6 breaths, and then you'll come back down and do Crocodile. And then you're gonna come up to seated. And when we come to seated, we're gonna do Yoga Mudra. I'm gonna sit in, this is called Hero Pose. If you can't sit like that, you're gonna stretch your legs out in front of you. And you see the Yoga Mudra in the card? So in Yoga Mudra, the arms come behind the back, you pull your shoulders back, you lift your chest and look up. So you're really opening your heart. Again, 5, 6 deep breaths. Then the arms come around and you put the left arm under the right, give yourself a hug. Maybe this is where you stay, or you can try lifting your arms into eagle, okay? When you do that side, you open up after your breaths, then you do the other side. Hug or arms up. You hold for 5 or 6 breaths and release. The next pose is making the sun. Making the sun, you come back to seated, cross your legs the opposite way, bring your hands to your heart. You inhale up, deep breath, and you exhale, imagine you're bringing down golden sunlight around your body. And we can do this as long as we want. We can inhale up, think of golden sunlight, and bring it down on the exhale. Or you can go the other way, where you reach up this way, And then bring golden sunlight down into your body. And you can do that many times. Next, we do seated pigeon and seated twist. So you're going to take one leg out and put the other foot on top. This is figure 4 and the hands behind the back. You can stay right here, or you can put this foot on the floor and pull your chest close. You really want to hold this one for a few breaths. Once you release it, you're going to pick the leg up and cross it over. And then the opposite arm comes around and you twist and look over the shoulder. When you're here, you take 5 or 6 deep breaths and you release. Then you'll do the other side. First, figure 4 with the option of doing seated pigeon. Once you hold that for 5, 6 breaths, cross the leg over, other hand around, twist. 5 to 6 breaths. So that's figure 4 and twist. You didn't see all those cards, but the next one is the straddle. In the straddle, you open your legs. I know this is hard for a lot of people, so you're just gonna sit here. This might be it. Some of you might be able to fold forward and reach out, or even hold your legs and fold forward. Often, we can bring one arm across and we can circle the arm. So if your shoulder's feeling tight, and you can go the other way, and then you can go to the other side. And you're gonna do that many times, right? Circle and circle. Okay? Those are your options for your straddle. Next pose is bridge. Here we come onto the back, and this is going to be walking the feet in and coming onto the back and lifting your hips up. If you want, you can work your arms under and clasp your hands. Hold for 5, 6 breaths. Come down, bring your knees into your chest, and rock from side to side. Knees to chest is the next card. Knees to chest. After we do knees to chest is the inversion, the full body stretch, and final relaxation, which I know is your favorite. So for the inversion, you raise your legs and you just stay here. You could roll your ankles, and you want to stay here for 5 or 6 breaths, maybe longer. Then you're going to bring your legs down, take a full body stretch. The option is to do banana. Go to one side, then the other side, and then you come into final relaxation, lie down. Final relaxation may not seem like a lot, but it's a really important part of your practice, and you're going to want to stay there for at least 5 minutes. So try to relax your body. And remember that we try to relax every part of our body, from our fingers to our toes, to our head, to our back. Think about all the parts of your body relaxing. When we're done, you roll to one side in sleeping child's pose. And you come back up to seated. And you bring your hands back here in your heart, closing your eyes. And then think of an intention that's positive. We usually send love into the world. We inhale it up, and then we send that love out into the world. Sometimes we bring our hands back to our heart. We think about love. We bring the arms up, and we bring love into our heart. So that is our standard practice. There's a few more extra poses that are standing poses for those of you that have been practicing yoga a lot. But if you do just those poses every day and you do each one for 5 or 6 breaths, you're going to keep your body flexible, and you're going to keep your mind calm, and you're going to be feeling really good. And then by the next time we get together to do yoga, you're going to be pros. I can't wait to practice with you again. So remember, pull out your yoga cards and practice every day. Thank you so much. Remember what we say at the end of class? We bring our hands into our heart and bow to each other, the divine light. Namaste.